Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Oh, I was just reading Occupied Women, Gender, Military Occupation, and American Civil War. Let's walk and talk. America is a great country, and Collin is a great school. And one of the greatest programs in our great country, in our great school, is the Model United Nations program.
My name is Munshi, and I have been on the Model UN team here at Collin College for 3 semesters now. I had initially taken the class right out of high school without really any knowledge of politics at all. But I knew that if I was going to be a journalism major and if I wanted to be successful in my future, that I would have to have some sort of knowledge. So I took the class, and I actually was put on the Model UN team. And I have to say, I tell everyone that it's been the most difficult thing that I have ever done, which is true. I have never done anything like this, but I really would not trade it for anything in the world either. The amount of work we do really pays off in the end when we get to go to amazing places and meet amazing people. Very few sophomores at community colleges can say that they've sat in the General Assembly Hall at the United Nations building in New York and passed a treaty. I've also been able to go to the Secretary of State's building and to Washington, D.C., Chicago, and I've met some amazing people that work, in politics, in media, just from all walks of life. And I've met them here at Model UN conferences. I've met people from France, from Italy, from China, all over the world with similar aspirations and goals for the world as I have right now. I've been really fortunate to be a part of this program and work with some amazing people at Collin. Really, I've changed a lot since I started this program, because I started out a very quiet and innocent person who didn't know a whole lot. But I took this class, and the first semester, at first I wasn't able to talk in front of my classmates, my teammates, and in high school I was notorious for running out of the room, screaming, and throwing up when I would have to give a speech. But at the end of the first semester, when we were in Chicago, and I was on the World Health Assembly, at the end of the conference we were nominating people to give summaries on what we had done in our individual committees. So in my committee, I was actually one of the people who was nominated to give a little speech on what we had done. Surprisingly enough, I got up there in front of 5,000 kids that were, political science majors, from all over the world, and I gave that speech. And I did it, and I didn't run out of the room. And at that moment, I realized that this was something that I loved. That same week in Chicago, I was working with my partner, and we were, taking charge of the African bloc. We were really, making sure that we were kind of a team, and so me and my partner Matt had kind of taken control of the African bloc, and were speaking on behalf of the entire bloc, and that offended some of the countries. So there was a newspaper article that kind of called us out, saying that we were demanding things. And so I got up there and I started playing down and dirty politics. I called them out on that particular country. I pretty much just called them out. That's something that would completely intimidate me before, but I was able to do that. And so after that first semester, I realized that this was something that I truly loved, and being able to change the world that way and explore ideas through the eyes of international, perspectives. Every country is dealing with something different, and that's something that we learn here, in this class. By taking on the perspectives of different countries, like we've taken on since I've been here, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Zambia, and then Senegal this semester, we've all been able to learn some amazing things. Also, I guess the semester after that, I was put on the Arms Trade Treaty Committee, which actually had not happened at the time yet. The actual committee to draft the final treaty was actually set to take place a few months after we met in conference, so it was pretty much hypothetical. So we sat there, 500 students from all over the world, taking on the roles of different countries that would actually take part in the Arms Trade Treaty. So we all sat in that room, and somehow in 5 days we were able to agree upon and draft this Arms Trade Treaty, which it had taken the actual body, still to this day, it's taken about 5 years to even get as far as they have, and we were able to take the knowledge that they've done and finish it off in 5 days. To this day, the actual Committee on the Arms Trade Treaty has once again pushed it off to March 2013. So after hearing that, that's something that gives me serious hope for our future. The fact that a bunch of college students can, take on the roles of a country, of different countries all over the world, and really get something done when currently they're not able to. That really makes me believe in this program right here. The fact that I'm sitting here at a community college and able to get that perspective, and starting here with these programs, if we're able to educate our youth this way, our future is tremendously bright. This is the beginning. And so I'm truly thankful to Collin College for having this program, to Professor Ivanek and Professor Morgan for putting together such a wonderful program for us to learn in, and taking us to these conferences, which, shows the world, shows us that there is still hope out there. And then this semester, we took on Senegal, and I was able to be a part of one of the more difficult committees, the International Atomic Energy Agency, and we discussed the situation in Iran, which is very tense, and that's something that we tend to avoid. And again, once again, it astounded me what we were able to accomplish. The way that our youth, our college students, the future of our world, how we perceive things, when we are able and given that opportunity. Really, this program has shown me some amazing things, and I've met amazing people, obviously. I guess, the last story, when we were leaving for DC, I saw a team that we had met at the conference in DC. As they were, leaving for the airport, they were all hugging each other, and they were kind of singing, and I told my teammate Mark, I told him, why can't we do that? Why don't we love each other that much? Truth is, we've had an amazing team this semester, and we really do all care about each other, and it's been an amazing experience to work with these people. We've done a lot of great things and learned a lot. We've all, changed our views on the world and our perspectives, I think. I also really wanted to thank Professor Ivanek and Professor Morgan. They've done a great job, creating a foundation for us, for this program, for the school. I couldn't imagine two better people to lead us. I mean, they're creating future leaders, future diplomats, future journalists. God. But, big picture, what I've decided to do because of this program, I am currently a double major, journalism and political science, because I have decided that I don't just want to be a writer at some newspaper in New York or something. I actually would like to start my own media empire and really bring politics to the youth, and open up the information and make sure that that's entertaining to our youth, the way that Professor Ivanek has made it so appealing to me. I would love for our youth to understand politics, and that can create a foundation for, a better future. And I really want to make international and domestic politics appealing. So thank you to Collin College for this awesome experience. Also, if any future students are watching this, I suppose, take the chance. This is a lot of work, but I guarantee you it's not something you're going to regret. You'll definitely learn something, and that's worth it.
My name is Kimberly Smith, and this is my second semester participating in the Model United Nations program. The first semester that I came into the class, class, I just thought it was an intro to political science class. And you can imagine my surprise when I found out it was actually a Model United Nations class. And then you can imagine my further surprise whenever I realized that we were going to be taking political science from the perspective of another country entirely. It was probably one of the most challenging classes that I've ever taken at Collin College. I learned not only about another country's perspective, but also I learned to evaluate my own actions and feelings and my American perspective. And then there was the added experience of the actual Model United Nations itself. Being a part of a simulation of what the United Nations does for the international community was incredible. We got to work with schools from countries from all over the world, and actually come together in a room and talk about some of the most pressing problems facing the world today. And we were able to actually come to some resolution. Once for 5 days in New York, we discussed it, and we figured out what to do about Sudan, South Sudan. Obviously, it's not fixed yet, because David from our class will tell you that story. But then this semester, we went to Washington, D.C., and for 3 days, we discussed women's economic empowerment in the global community and how we could go about improving youth poverty. And these are amazing experiences. We were able to do this, come together from all these different nations and figure out a way to do things that would actually make the world a better place. And it's made me a better person for having been a part of the program. And Professor Ivanek has been amazing. She taught me not only to think critically, but also to try to be a better person in the world. So, thanks.
Hello, my name is Chris Arnell, and I was dragged into this political science class because I was told it was cool. I was told I was going to have fun and enjoy the experience of being in the Model UN. Now, I was a guy who didn't like politics. I really didn't care for it, didn't want to be involved, and had no interest in it. However, this class really changed my opinion on all of that. In fact, I've switched my majors now to become a government major. I was economics. Now I'm going to double major in economics and government because it interested me so much. I felt like one of the best things that I took out of the Model UN experience was the diplomacy aspect of everything. Before this, I did mock trial, so I'm used to sort of trying to be right all the time instead of working with others to come to an agreement or a resolution. And so this was something that I was able to develop as a skill in order to work with others in a manner of, well, everyone has different perspectives, let's reconcile these differences to come to an agreement in a common problem. And I think that's a skill that a lot of people lack. I know I did, for one, lack the diplomacy aspect of, just a regular person. I felt like this really helped me develop that. Also, there was a lot of great opportunities that are available to students at the Model UN conference. My partner and I were approached after the award ceremony and asked to come and judge some of the rounds and also maybe apply for some of the internships they have there. We were able to talk to other students who were in those internship programs from across the country, and they were just telling us about how great it was to be involved in their major, doing something actively there at our nation's capital. So it's very engaging if you're into that sort of thing, and even if you're not, because it converted someone like me. Like I was just saying, I wasn't at all interested. Now I am. I want to know what's happening around the world instead of just sort of glossing over all those details and staying in my own little bubble. It really gives you the benefit of having an added perspective, and now I can carry an intelligent conversation about many of the conflicts ongoing in Europe and Africa, whereas before I couldn't even label more than 2 or 3 countries in the continent of Africa. Now I can write down a whole list of them. So there was a lot of benefits to this program, and I feel like one of the biggest problems, though, with this is not enough people know about it. I walk around the classrooms and the hallways, and people ask me what was I doing, and I tell them about the Model UN program, and their eyes just get wide open. Like, no one knows about this program enough. So I feel like if there was more sort of publicity about this program, if people would really help spread the knowledge and try and gain more support for this, I think it will just only help boost students' academic achievement levels. Because once you find something you're engaged with, you're going to run with that and you'll work really hard. That's something that I can speak from a personal experience.
My name is Carla Arce, and I was part of the Model UN this semester. I really came across this class purely by accident. I was scrolling through the government classes that were of offered here at Collin, and I saw this class that didn't look like all the others, so I decided to join it. When I actually joined, I didn't know that it was going to be like a 2-for-1 kind of thing. I thought it was just going to be an intro to political science since that is my major. But when I heard about the Model UN, I've never been so interested in something like in my entire life. And when we started talking about what country we were going to do, and I started looking into the country, I was intrigued because it was not something, it wasn't like I was just going to go and research Senegal one day and just go home and just look stuff up. And so when we started doing the research and I started learning more and more about the country that I didn't even know existed, I was actually having fun. Then when it actually got to presenting stuff in class and turning in homework, it was stuff that I already knew. It wasn't like the same old stuff that you would do in any other class. And then when we did the class simulation, it was really fun because I was really nervous about the actual convention that we were going to go to because I didn't know what was I supposed to expect. So we did it in class simulation, and it was really fun, even though it had nothing to do with what we were actually going to do, the topic that we were going to do in DC. But then when I actually we got to DC, and we got to discuss all these things. I got to meet so many people, and I mean, just the people that were on my team, like from Collin. I grew so close to people, and it was really fun. Professor Ivanek really was a different kind of teacher. I really grew closer to her than I ever got with any other professor in any of my college classes. It was so easy just to talk to her and to get information. It was great. When we actually got to the convention in DC, it was like so many people. There was like so many people from all over the United States, and there was even some from France and China Japan. And Canada and Mexico. I got to meet some people that were from around where I'm from, and it was just the greatest experience ever. I never thought that I would ever be a part of anything like this. I thought it was just gonna be another boring class that I would have to go to, Tuesdays and Thursdays for 50 minutes and sit there and soak stuff in. But it was actually hands-on learning, and it was life-changing to me. I never thought that I would get an experience like this. I thought that, this was going into this stuff was just kind of like a career that you would maybe get into later on in life. I didn't know that there could actually be like something before. But the classes definitely changed my life a lot. It's opened up my mind. It's given me, the awareness that there's other countries out there besides the United States and Mexico that I could, be interested in. And it was just a great all-around experience, and I would do it again any day.
Hey, my name is David Ding. I have been here in Collin County Community College for some time. I've been taking so many classes. And political science class that I'm taking right now is one of the wonderful classes that I've taken. The experience that I have gained here in this class is so wonderful. Even I don't have a word to express it, because I was able to work with students, and we were able to interact, we were able to do research, and we learned about the world so much. And the beauty of this class is that it enables our students to understand the world, learn about Africa, learn about Europe, learn about Canada. And another part that I really appreciate in this class is the Model UN. Even if I wasn't able to make it to the conference because of my own work schedules, being in that class or attending that conference is really awesome, because the students from different countries, different nationalities came together, and we were able to see each other, talk to one another face to face, and share their experience. So this class of this program, Model UN, is one of the things that I really appreciate, and even the students who went there, they understand exactly what it is, and we appreciate the Collin County management and everybody that is involved to offer us this opportunity. And also, I cannot forget to say our professor is one of the one of the most respectful and hardworking professor. She is so awesome, and I will never forget everything she taught me in this class. Thank you.
I'm Kelsey Thompson. I just took the Model UN class at Collin College. It's been an amazing experience. When I first started, I had no idea where this country was. We did Senegal. I had no idea where it was or anything about the country. But just through different researching and really pouring everything we had into this research, we really learned a lot about the country to where now I can tell you their ideologies, their beliefs, their relationships with their neighboring countries, different facts about it. It's an amazing experience to see how you can go from knowing nothing about it to being able to compete against other schools internationally and work together and get resolutions built. It's an amazing experience. Professor Canada was, the way she had the class laid out, to where she wasn't giving us the information, but rather she made us research it. It allowed us to actually learn rather than just memorize. And this class was just, it was amazing. We had a lot of fun in this class. We've done going to DC. It was crazy and stressful at times, but it really was an experience that I'll never forget.
All right, this year from taking the political science class, I've learned a lot, a great deal of how political science works, especially outside of America, as anyone could guess. American political science is kind of different than it is in Africa. I didn't get to personally go to the UN. It was an experience that I really wish I would have been able to work into my schedule. All the students that ever took it and came back, they said it was a life-changing experience, something I wouldn't pass up. And I'm looking into taking it again just for that purpose. As far as a professor, Professor Canada, she's amazing. She's very personal and very helpful. I have no professor that waits after class that's willing to stop and be like, oh yeah, here, let me explain this to you if you don't understand it. Or if I will email me almost instantly. So she's, like I said, she's wonderful, and I would have no problem taking her class again or any other form of government class that she has.
Hi, I'm Amy Gilson, and I have been on the team for a year now, so about 2 semesters. In both semesters, I sat on the General First Assembly Committee, which deals with international security. This team has meant a whole lot to me. I stumbled on this program on accident because my major is political science, so of course I took the Intro to Political Science class. And when I first came here, I was 17, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go with my political science degree. And because I've sat on the GA First committee, I now know that I'm going to get my undergrad in international and foreign affairs, and I want to go on with my graduate and deal with the non-proliferation and disarmament of weapons on a global scale. It's something that's very close and near and dear to me, and without this program, it's something that I don't think I would have found as early as I have if I found it at all.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Bustamante. I am finishing up here at Collin College. I have 1 more semester left, and I took this Model UN program because I actually was introduced to it through Professor Bonnie's government too. And it has been an amazing experience. It's really diversified what kind of college courses I've taken here so far. I would definitely recommend it to anybody who is looking to just kind of do something that's different and kind of think outside of the box as far as courses you can take at college. It was unique because we had a chance to also compete against colleges that I'm looking to apply at, and going forward. And not only did we just compete, we also won against them. So it really gives us a sense of how amazing this course is and how outstanding the teachers are. I thought that just being in a class with the students that were in the class, it was also incredible. There were some of we had to report bring 3 different articles in throughout the semester and talk about issues that were relating to Senegal, which is the country represented, as well as relating to the issues of Model UN, the issues that were needed to discuss at Model UN, and just hearing what my classmates brought in and what they were looking at and what they were talking about. It was pretty outstanding, especially for a 2-year college. So my overall experience was awesome. I would definitely recommend it. It is a lot of work. You are given work, but you also want to make sure that your work that you're doing is exceptional. So I would absolutely recommend it for anybody who is maybe not sure what they want to do, but are looking for something that's unique and different. So take Model UN.
Hi, my name is Soraya. Okay, just kidding. Hi, my name is Soraya, and I'm in Model UN from fall 2012 as Professor Islamic. I'm here to tell you about how awesome Model UN is, how awesome the Intro to Poli Sci class is, and how awesome Professor Islamic is. Okay, Model UN. Be prepared. Lots of work. However, the rewards in the end are completely worth it. You get a free trip. You meet all different people from the entire U.S. in different schools. You get different experiences. You get the experience of basically what it's like to work in the UN, but with a bunch of students. And let's see what else. The Poli-Sci class is basically just a component of the Model UN, where you're doing the work to prepare you for the Model UN, but also it's totally different from all the classes at Collin College. It's more looking for information and learning the information rather than memorizing and regurgitating the information. So you're getting more out of it. You grow more as a person and intellectually through Model UN and the Poli-Sci class than any other class at Collin. Not to, make all the other classes look bad, but just this is a different experience. Let's see what else. Professor Islamic is pretty cool as well. So you get to experience that when and if you join. But I guess the best thing about the whole thing is if you're going to join the Poli-Sci class, it's definitely worth joining the Model UN. Because the Model UN is what brings everything together. You make this little family with the group you're with, this great group of friends, and the work, everything. It's really memorable, and I'm so glad that this is going to be my last semester, or next semester is going to be my last semester at Collin, and I'm really, really glad that I found out about this and I took this, because it changed the whole experience I've had here at Collin.
Hi, my name is Mark, and I'm a student at Collin College, a part of the Model UN program. The Model UN experience shows the diversity of learning experiences that we can find at Collin College. Now, as a student of Collin College, I have 94 credits at this institution, which makes me one of the veterans of this school as a student. And from my varied experiences at Collin College, what I find is that for whatever a student looks for, if he looks hard enough, it's here. And as far as Model UN goes, what makes it so special as a program, as an experience, is that the class doesn't begin with answers, as most classes do. The class begins with a question. And then the question develops into more questions. And the problem becomes ever more complex, just like real-world problems regarding political science. And from this, I learned that if we want to find answers to what we believe in, into real world problems, we have to look for them ourselves. And it's not easy. And we have to be meticulous, we have to be diligent. And that's what the curriculum has taught me. There's very little, well, I should say, professing in the course. The course isn't the professor actually professing facts and figures and things to remember to the students. So I never feel like the information of the course was infringing upon my attention span, to which I always get bored very quickly. And because of this, I feel like I was a lot more engaged in the course, and I wasn't spoon-fed the information.
Hi, I'm Eamon, and one of the reasons that I took this course was because I wanted to learn more about politics. I figured it's a political science class, so why not start there? And I mean, there was a little hesitation before I signed up for the class, just because I was kind of scared to try something new, I guess. But one thing that I'm really thankful for is that I actually just did it. At the beginning of class, the first few weeks were a little scary, for lack of a better word, but within that first class session, we were told about the Model UN program and how it would be part of the course structure, which I had no idea what that was at the time, but immediately I was interested in it. And then a couple weeks later, we were all recruited and whatnot. So with the preparation that led up to the actual event, we learned so much about other countries from their perspective, as opposed to the normal biased American perspective, which was really cool. It was a really, I guess, innovative new way of teaching, which I really admire. And that was just the instructional part of it. Throughout the group activities and whatnot that we did in the class, you not only become friends with your classmates, like I said before, you become a family with them, and it's something else. And while actually at the Model UN event, you meet so many different people from all over the world. And depending on your approach, you remain in good contact with them. I have friends that I constantly talk to all over the world now. And then coming back, just the remainder of class that we've had, it's not like walking into a classroom. It's like walking into a second house with your brothers and sisters all around you and your, I guess, foster parents at the front of the room. And it's changed my life in so many ways, just from everything, from the minute I first walked in that classroom up until now. I'm actually kind of upset that it's ending here in a week. And then you have Professor Canada, which she's a lot of fun. Her teaching methods have been, like I said, very unique, to where you're not just fed information, you actually learn about it and just take that approach that keeps you interested. And for any students that are going to be watching this video, if you have any hesitation about taking this course, don't. Just sign up for it while it's still open. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tabitha. I've been taking this class this fall. It's been a wonderful experience to be a part of this class. In fact, for the couple of semesters I've been here at college, it's the first class where students have been introduced to open learning. By that I mean research, sort of as an undergraduate program where as students we've been encouraged to research and find facts, and that encouraged us for critical thinking when we discuss issues as politics and how it interfaces with the world. Previous to this, we've just been consuming facts, this is what country does, and really not asking questions. But group work, meeting with different opinions and interfacing and interacting, just given us a new way of learning. That's point number one. Point number two, this class has helped me look at our country, the United States, differently and with respect to other countries around the world. I think that there are many things that we've been taking for granted that actually impact our individual lives and the lives of everybody around. And going forward after this class, what I take is to respect other countries and their opinions, and not that I agree with everything, but to ask why this thing is done this way or not the other. And I think this also translates to even our country in the States, how we discuss. Instead of accepting every opinion as a given fact, we should critically think, research, as opposed to taking any point for granted. And I will encourage other students to enroll in this class, and we really enjoyed Professor. She's a phenomenal professor because she encourages learning and critical thinking as opposed to someone putting spoon feeding this. So this has been a wonderful class. Thank you.
What else am I supposed to say?
I think that's good.
That's it?